vehicle head-on. The driver of that car, 57-year-old Heather Lanier, and Wasson were killed. Wasson was a longtime deputy with the sheriff's office. Kim Vickers joins us now with more.
Well, there has been an outpouring of grief on social media since the announcement of Deputy Wasson's death. He's being described as a good man, a good husband and father, and a good police officer. Hundreds of people on social media are offering condolences and prayers to the families of Wednesday's crash victims. I reached out to several people who say they knew Deputy Wasson, and while no one could speak on camera, a few gave me statements. Shantae Sturgis says she often saw Wasson at Circle K, adding, he was a very nice officer, always had a smile on his face, and had nice conversations when he used to come to Circle K to get coffee or a drink. And a retired lieutenant with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office who knew Deputy Wasson since he was a child said in part, this is so tragic. I'm heartbroken. My heart is breaking for his family. The world was a better place with him in it. His sole purpose in life was to make a difference in this world. Wasson was the second Richmond County deputy to die within just a few hours. Deputy Jailer Michael Davis, a 28-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office, died Tuesday afternoon after a medical emergency. Sheriff Eugene Brantley releasing a statement as well, saying in part, they were deputies, co-workers, friends, and members of our family. They were our brothers. Our hearts are with the Davis and Wasson families, as well as the men and women who served beside them. I reached out to a local counselor to find out how something like this could impact an organization.
First, I'd like to extend my heartfelt condolences to the families and to everyone involved. It's such a tragedy. You know, any unexpected loss will cause a myriad of emotions, grief, fear, things of that nature. So it's very important that emotional support be provided immediately.
Willis says crisis intervention is important and there are resources for the families and co-workers of both deputies.
988 is a great number to call for crisis intervention immediately when you feel, because you don't know how are you going to feel from day to day. However, it is very important that anyone's mental health be addressed at the moment.
Sheriff Brantley is asking for prayers for the families as well as the men and women who served with both deputies. Service information will be released once arrangements have been finalized. Jenny?
All right, Kim, thanks so much. Chief Meteorologist Jenna Petracci joins us now for a check of the weather.
Well, it's another very hot day, and we do have a good amount of sunshine across the CSRA, but notice more cloud cover here. This is our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam up at Soap Creek Marina. You can see some of those clouds primarily in our South Carolina counties and north of I-20. Now, as we look at those temperatures, we're at 100 degrees in Lincolnton. It's really been the northern portion of the CSRA where we have had the hottest temperatures lately, but all of us are at least at around 94 degrees, if not hotter. 98 in Augusta, 96 next door in Aiken. We're starting to see a north wind, though, and that's impacting our western counties and some of the southern half of the CSRA, and that's where humidity is very low, down to around 35% in some spots. So not as humid as it could be today. It's more of a dry heat, so you can see the heat index is very close to the actual temperature, checking in at 100 in Augusta and Aiken. So no heat advisories for us today. You can see for the remainder of our evening hours, we'll be in the mid to upper 90s for now. Then we're down into the upper 80s by 8 p.m. with the sunset at 8:09. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up, but back to you, Jenny.
All right, thank you, Jenna. The heat is also on at the polls with early voting in the Republican. The Republican runoff election is Tuesday, August 25th. A program at Augusta Tech is training high school graduates for careers in construction. News Channel 6's Ryan Lynch has more.
It is the pilot program for the two companies joining forces. The program aims to prepare the students for the workforce.
It's career exploration. It's hands-on component of what being a carpenter in the residential setting would feel like and look like. And it's ready to get them a leap ahead in an entry-level position in the trade.
Any student who comes in and they put their best foot forward and they actually, they don't mind working, they have a strong work ethic and a strong brand, they're going to come out and they're going to kill it.
The students selected for the program are committed. They see a need for workers as Augusta grows.
The programs are really good for the Augusta area growing constantly and like new stuff coming up all the time. They need workers and you'll gain the credentials and hands-on skills you need and the knowledge you need to be successful in the field and also be safe. So it's good. I'll recommend it, and I hope they do this more.
The program doesn't stop at teaching the technical skills needed for construction. It also teaches other skills important to being successful in the workforce.
These are young adults, they're like 18 to 24, so we're teaching them about how to be successful in the workplace, how to be professional.
The program will feed the workforce as the students finish, ready to start in construction.
If nothing else, it's just going to give some young adults a good opportunity to put themselves on a great path, which is always good.
The program wraps up in early September with a hiring fair. In Augusta, Ryan Lynch, WJBF News Channel 6.
New policies for commission meetings are in place, but Augusta leaders are focusing on the violations of an existing rule. City leaders approving new rules for those addressing the commission, but one rule already says a speaker must wait 90 days before coming back to talk about the same topic. The mayor says lately speakers are getting around that rule.
I certainly understand everybody's willingness to want to come participate, and I highly encourage that. However, I think we should stick to the old rule. Once you've spoken once, you have to wait 90 days in order before you come back before the governing body to do it again.
The mayor believes issues like data centers and other controversial subjects have increased the number of people signing up to speak at commission meetings. TechNet brings the military, technology companies, and cyber experts to Augusta each year, and it's no wonder now that Augusta is home to so much of the country's cyber work. Back in 2013, the Army announced it would move Army Cyber Command from Fort Meade, Maryland to Fort Gordon. That move brought a major federal investment to the area. Rob Dennis is with the Georgia Cyber Center. He says the state responded by making an investment of its own.
It was a huge economic development engine as part of being able to respond to that remarkable investment, which is measured in billions of dollars. The state, working with Augusta University, stood up the Georgia Cyber Center. And we're working to train and educate the next subject matter experts in these fields.
TechNet wraps up on Thursday. Today, Payne College is welcoming a new class of Lions. Fall Convocation is a campus-wide celebration of the opening of the academic year. Payne President Dr. Lester McCorn shared his thoughts on the future of the 144-year-old college. One trustee says he's proud of his alma mater, hopeful for the college's future, and excited about the incoming students.
Fall Convocation means that college is starting, and for many of our students, today is very important because we get an opportunity to plant some seeds into them so that those seeds can grow and sow seeds of hope, seeds of instruction and direction, and seeds of faith, because we are a religious institution here at Payne College as well.
Dr. Kendricks Hooker, the president of Augusta Technical College, was the keynote speaker. Coming up, backlash over data centers in Congress, why both sides are pushing back. Next. Still ahead, TechNet continues in Augusta. How the Cyber Center is putting teams from around the world to the test after the forecast.
It's a dry day with lower humidity, but it's definitely still hot out there, and that will be the case for Thursday as well. Then on Friday, some changes. Showers and storms will be moving in, and some of those could be strong to severe. I'll have your full Vapor 6 forecast when we return.
The CSRA's favorite news app is now even better with easier access to local news, weather, and live streaming video. Download the News Channel 6 mobile app.
A drunk driver comes down the road. I didn't even see him.
There was a truck parked across the road. I never saw it until it was too late.
When clients call, you can feel the burden that they're carrying, and we want to make sure people understand that we're here to help them.
How do you become the largest dental appointment?
Accidents don't keep office hours, and neither do we. Any day, anytime, just call all nines, and you'll reach a real person that's ready to help. Think Sync.
Now, your most accurate accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5/6.
Welcome back. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday and staying cool out there. It's another near 100-degree day. Lots of sunshine, just a few clouds in the distance on our Terry Limber Hyundai Skyview cam right here at Television Park. We're currently at 98 degrees, feeling like 100, and earlier I saw a temperature of 99 in Augusta. So we'll see when our almanac comes up if we officially hit 100 again today for the third day in a row. But there's a good chance we topped off in the upper 90s. Now, dew points are in the mid-60s. We have an east-northeast wind coming in at 8 miles per hour. And you can see we have high pressure that's driving in a northeast wind, and that's leading to some drier air in place. Now, down towards the south, a messy situation with some severe weather around the Florida Panhandle. But you can see that drier air in place here across the two-state, limiting us from seeing any rain today. And tomorrow will be similar. Dew points will remain slightly on the lower side in the upper 60s, but then more moisture starts to creep in as we head into the end of the week. Now, notice the temperature tomorrow back to 100 degrees. Then we're down to 96 on Friday, but the heat index will be the same at 106 both days. That's because the humidity will increase on Friday as that temperature decreases, so they kind of offset each other. Then as we go into the weekend, back to near normal temperatures around 92 to 94 degrees. But highs tomorrow definitely still hitting 100 in a few spots, especially along I-20 and up towards the north. Could even get up to around 101 in Lincolnton. So here's your day planner in Augusta. You can see we'll be at 95 by noon, mostly sunny conditions, and hitting that heat index of at least around 105 during the peak heating of the day. But we're still expecting that pattern change as we go into Friday and this weekend, with this dip in the jet stream bringing us a little bit of heat relief along with a higher rain chance, increasing to 60% on Friday and then 40% on Saturday. But it won't be a complete washout for your weekend. Notice rain chances down to 10% on Sunday. But we're now under a marginal risk of excessive rainfall for Friday. That means some minor flooding could be possible. We also have a marginal risk across the entire area for severe weather, so some strong storms possible as well, with damaging wind gusts and small hail being the concerns with that. So this is what we're tracking here tonight at 6 p.m. We are staying dry as well into our Thursday morning, but then we're going to be watching this cold front that'll be approaching from the north. That'll allow winds to come out of the south again, bringing us the chance of a pop-up shower, a weak storm or two on Thursday evening. But then as we get to Friday and that front gets closer with an area of low pressure developing, that's when we'll have the better chance of some rain, and some of that will linger into Saturday as that front stays in the area. But here's a closer look now tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pretty much dry up until that point, and then later on Thursday evening is when we could have one of those pop-up showers or storms, primarily in some of the Midlands. You can see around Saluda down towards Barnwell Thursday evening. Then as we go into Friday, starting out dry, and then we could see some activity during the afternoon. There's a look at noon, and then by 4 p.m., best shot at rain going to be in the southern portion of the CSRA, but we still can't rule out some showers and storms as we go into our Friday night as well. So here's your 10-day forecast. Highest rain chance is going to be on Friday. Then those rain chances decrease, and next Monday looks beautiful and sunny. We'll also have some lower humidity then as well, as temperatures continue to stay back to near average, and all the way into the following weekend, Jenny, not quite seeing this extreme heat. We'll be back in those low 90s.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jenna. As TechNet Augusta continues this week, Parsons is hosting a Capture the Flag event at the Georgia Cyber Innovation and Training Center. Members of the military and college students from all over the world are taking part. 30 teams, in person and online, work through various categories. Each team's progress is tracked through an online scoreboard. Participants exercise their cyber skills and test against other nations.
You can really learn teamwork, problem solving, critical thinking here, because you have to work together to share information and try to solve these Jeopardy style problems. So that really helps, and that's really important in the workplace.
I got quite a few working for the government agencies out there, and now I've got a great job in this industry, so I get feedback all the time from the kids that have done these things. They're highly successful.
The event wraps up tomorrow when the winners will be announced. Up next, a man defying his diagnosis. How he's walking across the U.S. after being told he may never walk at all.
If you have a crack like this message.
A man from Ireland was told there was only a 5% chance he'd ever walk again after a spinal cord injury. Not only is he walking, but on Saturday, he heads out of Brooklyn on a 75-day journey across the U.S. Take a look.
This is something Fergus Farrell says he will never take for granted again, walking.
One thing that you do realize in a very quick moment is that what's really important in your life.
In 2018, he was told there was a 0 to 5% chance that he would ever move again after suffering a spinal cord injury. It happened while he was trying to move a metal bench in his backyard in County Galway, Ireland.
I got a more merciful pain up the back, and next thing I got an explosion, fell on the ground, roaring in absolute pain. I couldn't move my legs. Then I tried to touch my legs, couldn't feel myself touching my legs.
Doctors said a back disc had severed his spinal cord by 90%.
What are your thoughts that comes to your mind is what's most important, and now are my kids.
Farrell said his first goal was just to move his right big toe. 21 days later, he did it.
And then eventually I moved the toe next to it, and the toe next to it, and the toe next to it. And it was just a process, an absolute massive drive to keep on improving every day.
Farrell is now walking without even needing a cane. And although he says he still can't feel a lot of his lower body, his next challenge is to walk across America in 75 days. He's launching from the Brooklyn Bridge and aiming for California. Funds raised go to the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation and Spinal Injuries Ireland.
I'm also doing it for people that I may never meet or may never know that can take something from this journey and maybe help them start on their first step of their next journey.
As for how he was able to defy the odds, how do the doctors explain how you're able to walk?
I never asked them. I won't say I don't care about the science of it. Once I know it works for me. And, you know, something that will work for me may not work for another person. But find what works for you and stick with it and work hard and push hard.
Amazing. That does it for us this half hour, but we do have more coverage you can count on coming up at 5:30, including President Trump announcing plans for a summit with North Korean leaders. We'll have those details after the break.
Find the best in distinct. This Friday, WJBF presents our Game Night Live Game of the Week. Join us as the North Augusta Yellow Jackets take on the Strom Thurmond Rebels. Game Night Live, Friday at 7:30 on CW6 and WJBF 6+. This Friday, WJBF presents our Game Night Live Game of the Week. Join us as the North Augusta Yellow Jackets take on the Strom Thurmond Rebels. Game Night Live, Friday at 7:30 on CW6 and WJBF 6+. Giving your best on News Channel 6. Amazing people doing amazing things for our community. That's what Giving Your Best represents. Everyday heroes making a difference right here in the CSRA.
Do you know a local volunteer who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award at WJBF.com/GYB.
Giving Your Best on News Channel 6. Proudly sponsored by ScienceGo, Piedmont Augusta, and Security Federal Bank.
During 3-for-1 spring and summer clothing. The Live 5/6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping today's headlines, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is in mourning after an early morning crash takes the life of one of their own. It happened on Washington Road and Woodbine Drive. According to the Richmond County coroner, 49-year-old Philip Wasson Jr. was driving his vehicle westbound on Washington Road when a vehicle driven by 57-year-old Heather Lanier crossed the center lane and hit his vehicle head on. His daughter was injured in the crash. Also, the heat is on at the polls with early voting in the Republican U.S. Senate runoff underway in South Carolina. And Augusta Tech is training high school graduates for careers in construction. Construction Ready and the Home Builders Institute are joining forces to get high school graduates prepared for the workforce. We'll have more on these stories coming up at 6. But first, a North Korean summit could. Time now for a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jennifer Tracci joining us. And
Another hot day.
Yeah, it really is, Dee. We are close to 100 degrees again today in Augusta, and you can see we do have some cloud cover, but no rain to cool us off. Here's our satellite and radar just showing some of that cloud cover in our South Carolina counties and north of I-20. Clear skies over towards the west and down south. Now, here's a look at those current temperatures. We're at 98 in Augusta, 96 in Evans, McCormick and Lincolnton at 97 degrees, and winds are now coming out of the north, especially in our western and southern line counties. That's where we have some lower dew points today, bringing our relative humidity down to around 30% in some spots. So luckily it's more so the heat and not the humidity today. The heat index is very close to the actual temperature, 100 in Augusta, 103 in Lincolnton, so not quite high enough to have a heat advisory today. But you can see for the remainder of our evening hours, we'll be in the lower 90s by 7 p.m., then 88 by 8 p.m. Overall, expect another warm night and a hot day tomorrow. I am forecasting 100 degrees again for Augusta with only a 10% chance of rain, but rain chances are on the rise on Friday, and we could have some lingering rain into the first half of the weekend as well. I'll have a look at your future cast for that coming up, but back to you, Dee.
Thanks so much. We will see in a few minutes. A death row security guard is expected back. Still to come, the true story of family, courage, and coming of age. Well, don't miss this special preview of a 4-part nature documentary series. Stay with us.
And it was another very toasty day in the CSRA. Here's a look at some of those recorded high temperatures today. We did reach 100, at least in some parts of Aiken County. This is our Live Vapor 6 neighborhood network powered by Tempest. You can see that 100-degree mark over at Berkeley Street, Southeast 98, and Waynesboro 99 and Evans. And let's look at some more temperatures here. Upper 90s across the board, 96 in Appling, over at Cottonwood Drive, 97 in Gary on US 1, 97 in Hughes on Earhart Road, and in Warrenton on Shirley Road. I'll have more details on your hot and humid forecast when we return.
Let's find out if our is rainy weather putting a damper on your day? Enter to win your very own Live Viper 6 umbrella today. Visit WJBF.com and click on contest. Then fill out the entry form for your chance to win.
Getting your hands on a Live Viper 6 umbrella has never been easier. Lucky winners will be announced weekdays on News Channel 6. Who knows? It could be you.
Sponsored by Busby's Heating and Air. When quality matters, call Busby's. Good Morning Augusta, weekday mornings on News Channel 6.
Welcome back. It's time now for a look at what's trending. There's a new 4-part nature documentary series. Madonna topping Taylor Swift and MTV Video Music Award nominations. The network says Madonna earned 11 nominations. The 68-year-old pop icon has now been nominated in every decade of her musical career. Swift had the second most nominations with 9. The 2026 VMAs will be in Los Angeles on September 27th. Now, if you or your child was looking for the perfect college school, then you might want to hear this. USA Today ranking the top 25 party schools in the country. I don't think many parents want to hear this one. They average party school rankings from several lists to see who parties the most. Well, University of Southern California ranked as the 7th best party school, but taking the top spot is Tulane University in New Orleans. Alabama, Roll Tide, 2nd best, followed by Florida State. Then Georgia. We're not going to let y'all top us. UGA, we're like, yeah, no. But we do also get a great education. So the kids get to have some fun, but getting those top educations. But no parent wants to hear about the parties. We want to hear about the education and the high standards of academia, right? Yeah, my son's going to be like, All right, y'all. Well, we're going to also hear about what's going on with our weather. 12 seasons of the CSRA, like on the maps when you see, we are here, into the oven. Uh-oh. And it doesn't feel like it's going to end anytime soon. Where are the cookies? If we're in the oven, where are the cookies? Jenna has your full forecast coming up next.
I was headed to work, crossing the interstate.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.
This message is brought to you by the Milton Rubin Superstore. There's only one way to drive, and it's drive, baby!
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
Well, here's something that may make you feel a little bit better about this heat wave. Here's some history for you in Augusta, our consecutive 100-plus degree stretches. You know, in first place, we've had a couple instances where we've had a whole week, 7 days in a row of 100-plus degrees. And then you can see in second place a couple dates at 6 days in a row. And then in third place, 5 days in a row. So we are not going to be quite that hot. We're actually going to see some cooler temperatures as we go into the weekend. And here's another thing that you may not have known. 108 degrees is actually the hottest temperature on record for the Augusta area. And that happened not once, but twice. And one of those times not too long ago, back in 2007. Now, a couple days ago, we were at 102 degrees. Then yesterday, we were at 100. And today, we did make it to 99. And we're currently sitting at 98. But at least we're not at 108. And it's only feeling like 100. Dew points are in the mid-60s, humidity at 33%. And you can see on satellite and radar that all of the shower and storm activity is staying to our south and west. High pressure is bringing us some drier air. You can see that here on our water vapor imagery, that orange color there, representing some lower humidity, and that will be the case again for Thursday. Dew points still in the upper 60s, but then more humidity moving in as we go into the weekend, but it will be offset by some cooler temperatures. So heat index of 106 both Thursday and Friday, but you can see we're going from 100 degrees down to 96 on Friday, and then we'll be in the low to mid 90s, closer to near average this weekend. But high temperatures tomorrow still in the upper 90s, and a few spots will hit the triple-digit mark. You can see at noon we'll be at 95 in Augusta, then reaching 99 by around 4 o'clock, and even 100 for some of us. So we will eventually see a pattern change starting on Friday. We're no longer going to be talking about that ridge of high pressure, but instead we're going to have a cold front that'll lead to a 60% chance of some showers and storms on Friday. Now, unfortunately, there is a marginal risk of excessive rainfall. That means flooding is possible on Friday, along with a marginal risk of severe weather. So we'll be watching for some damaging wind gusts and some small hail as the system moves through. But it's going to stay quiet tonight through our Thursday morning. Then you can see the cold front getting closer Thursday night. So we can't rule out a pop-up shower or storm tomorrow evening. Then the bulk of the rain moves in on Friday as that area of low pressure develops. And we could still have some lingering rain on Saturday as that cold front hangs around. But here's a closer look tomorrow at 4. We're still dry, but then as we get to Thursday evening, could see some of that pop-up activity, especially up towards the Midlands and some of our South Carolina counties. Then starting out our Friday dry, but once we get into the afternoon, that's when we'll be watching for some activity as that cold front approaches. Most of it looks to be staying south of Augusta, but we still can't rule out some showers and storms Friday evening. There's a look at 11 o'clock at night. Now our 10-day forecast is showing rain chances at the highest on Friday, 60%. Then we go down to lower rain chances at 10% on Sunday. Monday of next week looks nice. We'll only be at 94 degrees with lower humidity and sunshine. Now we'll be right back.
Tonight, only on News Nation. Cuomo.
Facts don't have sides.
O'Reilly.
I'm asking you to back up.
Only on News Nation.
That makes perfect sense to me, Cuomo.
Time with your family is sacred. I cherish the moments I spend with my wife and son every day. As a lawyer, I know how an injury can change all of that in an instant. It impacts your health, your work, your loved ones, your whole life. I'm Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. After your accident, I'm here to help you recover and get what you deserve for your injuries so you can get back to the moments that really matter. After an accident, call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. 706-724-7224.
Keisha Lansbottom. And that's all the time we have for this half hour. We have more coverage you can count on coming up next at 6, including the Richmond County Sheriff's Office in warning after an early morning commute takes the life of one of their own. We'll have more on this story next.
Online Fiber 6 Neighborhood Network, powered by Tempest, is sponsored by Coleman Services. One name, two trades, no worries.
The cost of health care is an emergency.